What's up, guys? My name is Matt Medved, and we are here at Build Series. We are joined by one of the top DJ producers in the world, Afrojack, today to talk about his new song, Sober, featuring Ray Sremmurd and Stanaj, and some of his upcoming projects. Let's give it up for Afrojack.
Hello. Hi.
So Sober, I mean, it's a great song. It's got, really high-profile collaborators in Ray Sremmurd, sort of an up-and-coming talent in Stanaj. I'd love to hear a bit about the backstory of the song. How did it all come together?
It came together like most of the songs, some people get in the studio, we sit down together, listen to some music, get inspired through stuff we already built, and then just start making some stuff. Started in Denmark with Thomas. And then in LA, I was in the studio with Ray Sremmurd, Ty Dolla $ign also briefly. Like a lot of people tried to work on the record. And eventually we went with Stanaj and Ray Sremmurd. We recorded it, shot the video, changed the song at the shoot of the video completely.
Really?
So, yeah, you know how it goes. Creative people.
Did you already have a relationship with Ray Sremmurd before the song? Or?
Yeah, I hung out with them before. I've been in the studio with them before, but this was the first time we actually got to do a record.
And so tell us a bit about the video shoot. And you said you made some changes on the fly while you were there.
Yeah, so we were at the video shoot, and I noticed I got a text the day before, and Sway wasn't too happy about his verse, so he decided to change his verse the day before. And then we got there, and it was dope, but there was one piece missing, and he didn't hear that yet. So I was like, okay, we're missing a piece. So we recorded it in the dressing room at the shoot. It was pretty funny, and you can't hear it back in the record. It was very cool how something that was recorded in the studio and recorded in the dressing room, you can't hear the difference.
Absolutely. And how has the fan response to the song been so far?
It's been good. Yeah, it's a song, and I'm more known for doing club music and festival music, and these kind of things for me, it's it's a hobby. I like making pop music. It's a cool challenge, and I'm just lucky I get to do it with crazy writers like Thomas and crazy rappers and performers like Ray Sremmurd and Stanaj.
You also released a track recently, Switch, as well. Tell us a little bit about that one as well.
Well, same story, only I didn't go to the video shoot, as you might have noticed. I'm not in the video. But Liz Ribeiro's in there, very high-profile model. And I wanted to, give someone a chance to sort of get their own video, I'm not a model, so what am I going to do in the video? Do some dances or whatever. So we just gave the director creative freedom and Liz her own creative freedom, and that's what came out. And the record I did together with Jules and Sparks and Emmeline, which was fun, but it was like a digital collaboration, send back stuff, send back ideas back and forth, boom, bop, bip, email, hello.
Sure.
Very simple.
And I know that your team had mentioned that there's an album upcoming. Is there anything more you can tell us about that?
Yeah, I got the records, but it's more so it's how am I going to release them? And right now, I don't know what I'm going to do. For me, it's very important that the music comes available directly to fans and gets promoted to fans. And I have my own way of thinking about that. And, working with people with labels, it's always very important for the label to get the financial benefit because they're not invested into the other aspects of the artist's career, So keeping that in the back of my head, I'm just okay, so how am I going to do this my way, but at the same time make everyone that's involved happy? So right now I'm still thinking about how doing that, but the way it's been going now, I'm very happy with Switch and Sober, so I'm just probably going to do it like that. But it's going to take some time. The records are there, though. It's paperwork. If you're, not familiar about the music industry, when you have a record, it's going to take, a year before the record comes out with clearances, working with big artists and stuff. With Ray Sremmurd, shout out to Migo, by the way, for setting that up. But we got like 5 days in advance. We got like, okay, you get this Friday to release it from the label. So the label only wanted to clear it for that exact date. And we had the video already done for 6 months before that date. So we were there like, we were thinking it was not going to happen anymore. Like, this record's never going to come out. Label never got it. And then someone somewhere did something. And suddenly, okay, you get this Friday. So you'll have 5 days lead time. I was like, okay, whatever, let's go.
There are a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. So, like I said, like I have a lot of songs with crazy artists and writers that I'm very excited about. But at the same time, I'm also like, well, this music industry, like everyone has their plan and everyone has their clearance thing going on and they have their own album and their own singles. So I don't know what's going to happen. But if something goes wrong, I might just put it online and like, whatever, here you guys go, sue me, whatever.
Just give it straight to the people.
Yeah, then I'll be back here probably talking about my... like big lawsuits with major labels all pissed off at me for putting out music for free.
And not to mention all these different moving parts, you have a new role as the CEO of LDH Europe.
Yeah.
And you have your global remix battle. For those, I know we've chatted about it before, but for those in the audience who maybe don't know about the project and the platform for undiscovered talent that you're looking to provide with that, just maybe if you can kind of tell everyone a little bit about what that role entails and what the global remix battle is.
It's basically like a talent scouting thing, So I always believe that everyone has the potential to do something great if they believe that they have that potential. So basically what we do this remix battle, like just a big remix contest. And we allow people to make remixes, but also share their story, Like if you really want to, you can do as much or as little as you want. You can make 20 remixes. You can make one remix. You can send a whole video about your life, or you can just say nothing and just send the remix. So it's like, it's more so to measure like if there's talent. It's not just in the production skills. It's like how much do you want it? And the thing is like when I started, everyone said like, well, you can't really do anything. Like why? How are you going to become a DJ? So I started learning, and I really believe that if you really love something, it's kind of easy to become good at it, or successful. And for me, this remix battle is basically giving everyone the opportunity that always said, well, yeah, I'm very good, but it's just not the right place or the right time. I was like, well, here you go. Like, show yourself. But that's the thing. Like, a lot of people always try to abide by the rules, unwritten rules of society, of sitting still, showing yourself, and being very humble and stuff. But in this life, like you gotta go out there and show what you're gonna do. Right? Like there's too many people on this planet for you to sit and wait your turn. You gotta run. You gotta like bash people on social media. Back in the day, like I had to send demos on CD to a physical address, and I would have no idea what would happen. Now you can just like put a storm of comments on someone's Twitter or Instagram from different accounts. Like make 3 accounts and start commenting the same link all the time. And maybe maybe the artist won't hear it, but maybe the people go like, well, might as well look. Like some people are gonna click the link. And then if it's good, they're gonna tell the guy, yo, this is actually good, you should check it out. Of course, it can also happen you just make very crappy stuff and you still need to get better. But like at least you'll learn, at least you'll get direct feedback. And still, when I make music, I still ask my team all the time, like, what do you think? And if the first guy says, wow, that's awesome, then I'm gonna play it to the guy that usually thinks it's not that awesome to see if he thinks it's awesome too. Because if they all think it's awesome, then it's awesome. But like you have to embrace the feedback, including negative feedback, and use it to try to improve yourself. Basically, long story short, Global Remix Battle, I'm trying to find people that want to become successful so I can work with them and try to help them get there. I did it in the past with friends, and now I'm looking for people that are not necessarily my friends yet. I hope, of course, they become my friends. But yeah, just like to grow that talent.
And I know you for the first, edition of, you selected five artists, from different places around the world, and released a remix EP. And so, tell us a little bit about the process of selecting those artists and releasing that EP.
Yeah, so there were 1,500 remixes, and one of the guys, we selected five. We had five winners, put out their stuff. Three of the five actually we signed, and they're like studying now in like. It's not really like a scholarship, but it's like we'll help you get set up, and we'll figure the rest out later. But one guy,
kind of.
What?
Like a launch pad, kind of.
Yeah, like my own personal little Kickstarter for people I think can make it. So there's one guy from Japan, doesn't speak English at all. His name is Hiroki. He made a sick remix. Of course, he didn't share a story because he doesn't speak English, but I checked out his SoundCloud, and his stuff was like insane, and like the mixing was insane, and like you could really hear like this kid would work 16 hours on one sound. So I asked for his project files to see like if he actually does everything himself, to check out like is he really that good? Yeah. And he is. And I asked him to do some other stuff, and he made a couple of more remixes and some other songs. And I played Ultra last month, and I doubt that you can pull up the footage so fast, but I'm out there playing like for 30,000 people, 40,000 people, and the stream now is at like 3 million views, playing like 5 of his records. This happened in the span of like 1 month before. I didn't know the guy, and a month after, like his music gets showcased. It's like, it's cool that I'm playing it, but like 30,000 people hearing it live, 3 million people around the world going like, oh my God, that's fire. So it's like a very small step between like a lot of people hearing your music or no people hearing your music. So because of that small step, I really try to find people that I can push like that, And we're doing it with the Global Remix Battle. We did it last year with the Vocal Battle Edition, where we had singers and dancers. And there's another Global Remix Battle coming up very soon. And it's just like what I'm always looking for. But I mostly am always like the most passionate about people like really trying. Like, don't say you tried. A lot of people say they tried. Like, saying you tried doesn't matter end of the day, Like, if you're there or not there, it's like you just like you say, oh wow, I tried, it didn't work. So okay, remember that 20 years from now when you're still not where you want to be, you tried.
Now, I think you touched on what I think is a really good point, and I'm sure a lot of like aspiring artists ask all the time is that when you started out, it was a very different time than it is now, and it was a very different industry. There wasn't streaming, there wasn't digital music at all. Everything was physical, and I guess I'd be curious, and I'm sure a lot of other like aspiring artists would be curious as to what you feel like the best way to gain an audience as a rising artist these days is. If you're gonna try, like what should they be trying to do, and like where should they be diverting their efforts?
Make dope stuff. Like, it's very easy to get heard, but like you have to make dope stuff. And in order to make dope stuff, you have to, it's like the most simple equation ever. How do I make dope stuff? Well, look at what people think is dope and make something that is sort of like that. It's like, I cannot stress it any simpler. And it's very funny because I'm talking to my management about it all the time. We have some other kids signed to us, and sometimes they send us stuff and it's not dope. But like you gotta, like, you hear me talking now. Imagine how I talk to them, or when they're with me on tour. Imagine the kind of like how far I stretch this situation to them, and they send me something, and they're like, "What do you think?" And like when they ask me like, "What do I think?" I already think, "What? Why is that a question? You should already know what I'm gonna think when I listen to this." And I listen to it, and like usually it's dope. But then when it's not dope, it's like, yo, how are you doing this? I sign you, like I give you a shot, and you don't, you gotta, always, whatever you do, always go for the best. So, yeah, sometimes that gets forgotten quite easly. But it's, like it's the same thing with working out. Google, how do I get in shape? Go to the gym. Do push-ups. Mm-hmm. It's like we already know, but we always hope there's a faster way. And that's why I'm still trying to, even though I already found some talent, I'm still looking for that one guy or girl or non-binary that will join me all the way and like gets it. So that's why I will be doing the global remix battle again and again and again. And even when I found one, like, why only one? There can be two, there can be three, there can be 20. I hope like eventually the message is going to spread. But right now, I still, even though I found some talents and they're growing, I still haven't seen the person get it. Well, there's one guy who's standing right there as my manager. He gets it. But most of the people, like, they're still learning and they're still growing. But you have to like go through extreme thinking of like, am I really doing my best? You know? Just an example, I did Ultra set, Ultra Miami, which is like very important for me as a DJ personally, because I used to love it as a kid, as a fan. But also like for the industry, like every promoter in the world that does these shows and that like books DJs is watching that show. So I prepared for it for 3 months. And then like second week of January, one of my most anticipated games ever came out, Resident Evil 2 Remake. So I had the PlayStation 4 set up. I had the big screen TV. I downloaded the game. And I worked nonstop, I think, until a week before Ultra. I worked nonstop on my Ultra set. I didn't play the game. And then a week before Ultra, I thought like, okay, let me play some Resident Evil 2, just like to get your mind off things and then get back into it. But it's like, how much do you really want something, you know? And that's always the question I'm trying to ask anyone that wants to do anything. Is like, how much do you really want it? Like, do you really want it? Is it wicked? That's that's a reference to some song, but whatever.
No, I know what you mean. It's easy to say that you want something, but quite another thing to sacrifice other things you might want to do.
Yes.
Yeah. And on that note, I think we have some questions. One from Twitter and then two from the audience. It looks like the Twitter question from @NikkiEyes is, what made you decide to play Izu again after 9 years? By the way, can't wait.
That's funny. So I didn't really decide to play Electric Zoo again. They decided to book me again. So shout out Electric Zoo for booking me again.
And two questions from the audience.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
My name is Kai, representing Brooklyn. I just want to ask you, take us through your creative process. When are you the most creative? Like when you're by yourself or when you're around people? How does that work?
I'm most creative after I experienced or witnessed something that I would want to experience myself in my life. After watching a movie, like I have it personally, every time I watch The Wolf of Wall Street afterwards, I'm like, yo, I gotta work. Like I get inspired, and when I get inspired, I get creative to reach my goals. Like it's actually very funny because I don't want to have a house on Long Beach by the ocean. Like I don't want that, but like still the whole experience like gets me ticking, you know? So I think I get most creative and most inspired after seeing stuff that inspires me. Could be like watching a TV show or like seeing a car or seeing someone like experience a certain family situation. I have that same thing. Thing is though, with family situations, a different kind of success. Like for me, that requires a lot of flying back and forth. But yeah, I think that gets me most inspired. Just seeing stuff that I want to experience in my life.
One more from the audience.
Hey, my name is Danny.
Hi.
And you've really inspired me, and I'm kind of freaking out right now because I was thinking about singing my song, which is called Wicked.
Okay.
Is that okay if I can sing
Sure.
you a line? Because
Not a question though. Like, it might be to piss some people off. No, I'm fine.
you were saying about breaking the rules of society and not being so.
Please.
So here we go. You're real wicked, baby. You're like a devil, I know. You're real wicked, baby, and you got me on a roll. That wasn't my original question, but you inspired me to put myself out there I'm an artist, and I've been going at this for 10 years. So I really like what you said about just being daring and just going for it. The original question that I had was, what do you feel is the deeper message of your music?
Well, to answer your first non-question, please send email to Lutfi, who's standing over there, and he's going to make sure I get all your music.
Thank you so much.
I'm looking forward to that. And then the deeper message. And well, I would love to give you a very nice politically correct answer right now, but I honestly feel that everyone that says like, well, the deeper message of my music is, I can't really take that serious. You know, like we're all human beings. We all have feelings. We all have emotions. I think when we're in the studio making music, or when we're writing something, or when we're creating anything, like I think our emotion and our feelings are so much bigger than our conscious vocabulary to try and actually explain what we're trying to say. Like that's why we have music, you know? Like you can't put a song into 3 sentences. You can try, but like if you go to Billboard and read like reviews about songs, you don't know what the song sounds like. So I think for me, like when I'm making my music, I just wanted to serve the goal of what I experienced the first time when I went to a club. You know, like I saw people getting together, enjoying music, enjoying communication, non-verbal communication, because you know, when you're in a club, the music is quite loud. And it just like, it brings people together. And for me, when making club music, I just want to recreate that feeling. That feeling when you see like the end of a movie and everything coming together and you're like, oh my God. You know, and it can be a drama when it's beautiful, but it can also be like the new Avengers movie where everything coming together and you're just like that's not a sound, you know, that's an expression. And I try to get those expressions in my music. I want my music to make people make those expressions like. So, yeah, that. Thank you.
Everyone, give it up for Afrojack one more time.